I'm Daniel Reeves, fourth-generation rancher out of western Kansas. And the day a luxury SUV tore through my cattle fence like it owned the land was the day everything shifted. Mid-October. Wind cutting low across the plains, carrying dust and the dry smell of hay. I was out by the north pasture, checking a weak spot in the fence line. Same routine I've done 1,000 times. Quiet. Predictable. Mine. Then I heard it. An engine high-revving wrong for this place. Before I could even turn fully, a black Range Rover came blasting across the open field. No hesitation. No slowing down. Straight through my fence like it was paper. Wood snapped. Wire whipped. Cattle scattered. The SUV skidded to a stop about 20 yards in. Driver door flew open. Out stepped a woman in boots too clean for dirt, sunglasses too big for her face, phone already in her hand. "I'm calling this in," she snapped, pacing like she owned the air. "This is private property. You people can't just block access like this. You people." I stood there, gloves still on, trying to decide if I'd heard that right. 2 sheriff trucks rolled up not long after. Dust clouds trailing behind them. She pointed straight at me like I'd just committed a felony. "He threatened me," she said. "And this fence is illegal." That was the moment I knew. She had no idea whose land she was standing on. And she just handed me everything I needed. But that didn't start that day. It started about a year earlier. Before the Range Rover. Before the shouting. Back when life was exactly how I liked it. My name's Daniel Reeves. I'm 48. My great-grandfather bought this land in 1938. Paid in cash after 3 years of drought and 1 good harvest. 120 acres. Nothing fancy. But it was ours. My grandfather expanded it. My father held it together during the bad years. I took over in 2003, right after my dad's heart gave out. Been running cattle ever since. Early mornings. Long days. Quiet nights. No loans. No investors. Just work. I drive a 2008 Silverado that rattles more than it should. My boots have seen better decades. And my best company most days is a border collie named Ash. Simple. Then everything around me started changing. 2022, a development company bought the old Carter land to the east. 200 acres gone in less than 6 months. Bulldozers came in like a storm. Tore down the Carter barn in a single afternoon. I stood at my fence and watched it fall. Wood splintering. Dust rising. History gone just like that. In its place, Silver Creek Estates. Gated entrance. Asphalt roads. Big houses with bigger windows. Lawns greener than anything nature ever intended. And of course, an HOA. Didn't bother me at first. Not my land. Not my problem. But developers needed utility access. Water lines, cables, had to cross a corner of my property. They sent a guy out. Clean shirt, polite smile. Offered me 15 grand for an easement. I told him I'd take $1. He blinked like I'd made a mistake. "I don't want your money," I said. "I want it in writing that your HOA has 0 authority over my land. Ever." We signed it. Filed it. Locked it in. I kept that dollar bill pinned above my kitchen sink. Figured that was the end of it. It wasn't. 6 months later she moved in. Vanessa Cole. Early 50s. Moved from somewhere coastal. Brought the attitude with her. White Range Rover. Always spotless. Always watching. Within a year she was HOA president. And stories started coming in. Fines for trash cans left out too long. Warnings over mailbox colors. Arguments about grass height measured down to fractions. Didn't concern me. Until it did. First letter came on a Tuesday. Certified mail. 2 pages. Said my ranch created visual disruption to the community. Suggested I install screening trees. Paint my barn. Reduce livestock visibility. I read it once. Then again. Then I laughed. And tossed it straight into the burn pile. That was my mistake. A week later a reporter called. Local paper. Said Vanessa had filed complaints. Claimed my cattle were contaminating groundwater. Said I was running unsafe operations. I looked out at my land while she talked. Dry soil. Clean troughs. Healthy herd. "Ma'am," I said, I've passed every inspection this county's thrown at me for 20 years. She came out that same afternoon, walked the property, took notes, asked real questions. By the end of it, she shook her head. This isn't what I was told, she said. No, it wasn't. Her article went live the next day. Didn't paint me as a hero. Just told the truth. That was enough. People started talking. Some from the subdivision even came by. Apologized. Said they didn't know. Vanessa didn't like that. Not one bit. That's when the complaints started rolling in. Noise violations, animal control checks, environmental inspections. Every single one cleared. Every single time. But it kept coming. That's when I stopped ignoring it. Bought cameras. Set them up along the fence line. Didn't hide them. Didn't need to. 2 weeks later I caught her. Not Vanessa herself. Her husband. Walking my property with a clipboard. Stepping past the boundary markers like they didn't exist. I reported it. Didn't press charges. Just documented. Gave them a warning. Figured maybe that would be enough. It wasn't. Because then came the fence. I found it early one morning. Fresh posts. Clean cuts. Driven straight into my land. Not on the line. Inside it. Clear as day. I called a surveyor. She confirmed it within an hour. 14 feet over. No mistake. I took photos. Dozens of them. Then I called the company that installed it. They had no idea. Said Vanessa gave them the map. Told them it was HOA land. They pulled everything out that same day. Apologized like crazy. Sent me the invoice too. $1,200. Paid by the HOA. That's when things started cracking on their side. Board members calling me. Asking questions. Sounding nervous. And Vanessa? She went quiet. For a little while. Then came October. And that morning. The one with the Range Rover. Standing there watching her argue with deputies on my land. I realized something. She didn't just think she was right. She believed it. Completely. And that kind of confidence? It makes people careless. The deputies asked for documentation. I handed it over. Survey maps. Easement agreement. Everything. They read it. Then they looked at her. The tone shifted. Fast. By the time they finished, she wasn't yelling anymore. Just standing there. Phone still in her hand. But no words coming out. They cited her for reckless driving. Property damage. Trespassing. All of it. Tow truck came and dragged that SUV out of my field. Left tracks in the dirt that stayed there for weeks. She didn't look at me when she left. Didn't need to. That wasn't the end. But it was the turning point. Because after that day, everything she'd built started unraveling. Board investigation. Financial audit. Residents speaking up. Turns out I wasn't the only one she'd been pushing. Not even close. And once people saw proof, they stopped staying quiet. I didn't celebrate. Didn't need to. I went back to work. Fixed the fence. Checked the herd. Watched the sun drop over land that's been in my family for nearly a century. Same as always. Only difference? This time, nobody was trying to tell me how to run it. And that was worth more than any dollar they ever offered.